Got a new video. Earbuds showdown. The WF-1000 Sony XM5s versus the Beats Fit Pro. Both of these pretty expensive. $300 to $80 to $300 range, to $190 to $210 range, depending on where you get them. Both vary. Just gonna do a little showdown. Which one's the best? I'm gonna start off with the Sonys. The Sonys have a nice, rich bass. They sound very good. They have like a real wide spectrum. That just makes them sound like really good surround sounds, like almost like headphones. The Beats, they're louder, but they're like more concentrated, like regular earbuds. They're pretty good too. The Beats have like a more direct sound and like centered in, while the Sonys have like a more wider sound that's like you can hear every single detail of each instrument depending on what you're listening to. The bass is like more subwooferish compared to the Beats. The Beats is like a little more punchy and more direct. These are much better for like hip hop and rap and R&B, that type of music, while these are like more better for like everything, every single genre, no matter which one you listen to, and you can tune them to fit every single spectrum. The Sony's, I prefer these more for the sound. These do come out better out the box though, the Beats, but the Sonys are better than that. The noise canceling, both of them are good, but the Sony's noise canceling is just phenomenal. I work in a very loud environment, a lot of machinery going on. The Beats did provide some good noise canceling, but not as well as the Sonys. The Sonys just blocked out all types of noise. It didn't allow much to come through. The only thing that will really come through with the Sonys is high pitched noises, like if metal's falling on the ground, or like a big, I don't know, like something just making very high pitched sounds. Those will come through. The Beats, it did it let a lot through, way more. Like even like deep low rumble sounds, like wood falling or a big old bag or something. So noise canceling definitely for the Sonys, but the transparency mode, the Beats definitely beat out the transparency mode for the Sonys. This almost sometimes it will sound like it wouldn't even, there was no headphones even in my ear on the Beats, almost like AirPods. I think the AirPods are a little bit better than the Beats, but the Beats, it would just sound like there is nothing in my ear. I can hear everybody, hear the whole environment. The transparency mode is pretty good with the Sonys, but a little bit more high pitched sounds will sound like a real like tearing in your ears, or like staticky, especially when like little kids are screaming or having fun, or something like louds fall. You hear a lot of screeching and tearing sound in the Sonys, while the Beats, they won't allow any of that. So for noise canceling, definitely the Sonys. For transparency, definitely the Beats. And for both, the Beats, the pretty much below 50%, 60% volume, it can hear people pretty fine, while the Sonys, after about 50 to 60% volume, I couldn't really hear anybody. I had to turn my music down all the way to hear people talk. So there's that. for the comfort and fit, the Beats, they fit really well, but they hurt my ears. They hurt my ears quite a bit. These ear tips are not as well made, or really stiff. The little wing on the top, it gouges in my ear sometimes, and it was making my ear like really sore. And then like after a while of many hours of use, especially at the end of my shift, my ears were like really hurting, and I'll have to like turn the music down and just to compensate for it. And these parts really just hurt the top of my ear, and they were my skin's very sensitive to certain rubbers and latexes, so this was like making my ears irritated and blister out in some ways. While the Sonys, these have a foam tip. It's a rubber tip in the inner side. I have one on the side. It's a rubber tip in the inner side, like a traditional earphone, but it has this foam outer layer to give you a perfect seal. That's probably why the noise canceling is so good and the sound is so good, because of this foam tip. It just gives a better seal around your ear and keeps a lot of that noise out, and a lot of the noise you want to hear from the earphones in. So these are much better comfort. They don't fit as well as the Beats. The Beats do fit very well in my ear, despite it irritating it. They do fit very well. I will shake my head like crazy. I could not get these to fall out my ear whatsoever. The Sonys, I will also shake my head like crazy. I couldn't get them out, but after a good minute or two shaking around, they start to loosen up, and then eventually the right ear will fall out. But for the most part, for comfort wise, definitely the Sonys. For something like if I was just gonna go to the gym and just work out for like an hour or two, I'll definitely go with the Beats instead. Especially if you're like an active runner or freestyler, or do a lot of flips or dancing, a lot of that. Definitely the Beats is the way to go. Next up, we got the app support. And the app support, it blows the Sonys just blow the app support away from the Beats. The Beats do not even compare to the Sony. The Sony's app support is just on the next level. You have 360 audio, you have an equalizer, you have all other features that just makes these much more better in every way compared to the Beats. The Beats, they have a fit test. It's okay. I was able to put on like 3 different, pretty much all the ear tips, and they said they all fit right, even though they really, the smallest one didn't really do, but it said it did, so that's kind of weird. But it also has the find my Beats. Pretty useless in my opinion. It only locates where they were last used. So let's say you used them at the gym and you put them in your bag, and then you take them home, you leave your bag somewhere in the house, and try going on the app and look to find your Beats. It'll still say the Beats is at the gym because that was the last place you use it, but really they're at your house. So not very useful. Unlike the AirPods actually track where your AirPods are at on the app. Well, the iPhone, exactly where they were at. Unlike the Beats, it'll just tell you last place they were used. Alright, I'm using the Sony app, and I'm using the earbuds right now, so you're hearing me, how I sound through the earbuds. So when you make a call, this is what you will hear. First you have the equalizer, the sounds, all the different options you can make, 360 audio, find your equalizer. Basically, find your equalizer, you can customize the sound to how you'd like, fine tune it. It tells you status, what you're listening to. You have adaptive sound control. You have the system, voice assistant. You can connect two devices simultaneously. It's something that they didn't have on the XM4s, but it's on the XM5s. You have ways to change the tapping on your earbuds, because these don't have physical buttons, so you can tap and choose what you want to do with them, which is pretty cool. You also have head gestures, like if you want to answer a call, you just hope pretty much move your head up and down like you're saying yes, and they'll answer it, or move your head back and forth like no, and they'll say no, just and decline the call, which is also pretty cool. Update software. You have services like Spotify, all this other stuff. I don't really use these. I mostly just listen to my own music or on YouTube. Also got like different activity settings. So pretty much where you're at and what you're doing, it'll change your EQ and hear through settings based on what you're doing and what time, which is also pretty cool. And then information about other stuff. So this app, much better. I'll show you the Beats app. Now I'm on the Beats app and I'm using the Beats earbuds. That's how I sound like with the Beats. As you can see, I don't know why I have these things both charged up, but the left is at 99% and the right is at 94%. I've problem with these battery. I don't know what's going on with these Beats. You have the switch back and forth, noise canceling and transparency off, and then transparency. Little updates. You can rename them, change the name, make them yours. These Beats do have physical buttons, so if you press and hold it, for my settings, it'll turn on noise control or transparency mode on the right. When I press it on the left side and hold it, it'll go to Google Assistant. You can also press this to answer calls. Press once to call, and then press twice to end call, which is pretty much standard. All earbuds have that. You have the fit test, microphone, noise canceling. Allow earbuds to put on noise canceling made when only one is ear. So if you want to do that, and then tone the volume pretty much, because these earbuds do make sounds when you do press them, and it'll give you that responsive if that's what you like. And add new beats, app settings, explore beats. Pretty much explore beats makes you want to buy more stuff from Beats, I guess. And then locate my beats, pretty much. Super basic app. There's no equalizer, no nothing. I had to use the equalizer on my phone, which is not the best either. Samsung's pretty trash in my opinion. So Sony's app is just way better in every way. The only thing that beats out the app is, I guess, that Find My Beats, kinda. Really doesn't really help though. But yeah, Sony's for the win. Other than that, I would say Sony's are probably the best. Is it worth the $100? It depends. For me, it definitely is. If you're working a lot around loud machinery, you need something to block out the noise, or you just like better sounding headphones, these are definitely the way to go. But if you just want to work out, all you listen to is hip hop and rap, these are definitely a good, valuable option. They're cheaper than the AirPods. Not as good as the AirPods, but they are cheaper, and they fit in your ears much better. There's the little problems I had with both of them. Obviously, the whole screeching sound when super high pitched sounds are in play for the transparency mode. Batteries, they're all pretty good. The Beats, I did have one problem during my few weeks of use. For some reason, this right side was not charging. I don't know why. I put it in, saw the red light, put it down. When I came to work the next day, looked at my Beats, put them on, this side was dead for some reason at 10%, less than 10%, and it wouldn't even play after less than 10%. While this side was at 90. I don't know what happened. There's a magnet that clips them in, keeps them tight. It was pretty weird. It did charge pretty fast. I just put it back inside the case, let it charge for about 10-20 minutes. Got all the way up to a good amount for me to listen until around my lunch and break, and I threw them back in the charger, and then they were pretty much fine the whole day. They both have similar battery life, 6 to 8 hours, transparency mode, noise canceling. Same amount of battery life with case, 24 hours, which is pretty weird because looking how big the Sony is, literally half the size of the Beats case, but the Beats only provides 24 hours of use like the Sonys, and the Sonys are literally half the size, same thinness, but half the size of the case. So that's pretty weird. Other than that, depends on what you're doing. For me, $100 worth it. Got the Sonys, the Beats, working out, whatever you're doing, go with those. And that's it.